Buongiorno e benvenuti. Welcome to Art Yoga Pills with me, your host, Binny. In this space, we will connect and share together about creativity, inner child, and self-awareness. Siete pronti? Enjoy! Ciao a tutti, kia ora, and welcome to a new episode of Art Yoga Pills. With me today, I have a special guest, Juliet Grant. How are you today, Juliet?
Fiona, I'm very well, thank you. Yes, doing great.
Oh, that's wonderful to have you in this space with me. I'm really honored to have your presence here. And of course, I'm very familiar to who you are and what you're doing, or at least part of your work. But if you could share with our listener who you are, that would be a really nice way to get to know you a little bit more, and for me as well.
Cool. Kia ora koutou, ko Juliet Grant. I am from Rotorua originally, and I now live in Auckland. And I have been in Auckland for, over 25 years, I think. Oh, could be longer. Yeah, living here in Auckland, but originally brought up in Rotorua. It's my hometown. I come from a family of, there are 4 children, and we were raised in a lovely home in Rotorua, so it's always lovely to go back home to my hometown. Currently, I have am working here in Auckland at Te Wananga O Aotearoa. I have 3 children and 2 mokos, and that's about it. And I'm a single mama. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Juliet, for your sharing. I know that you do way more than what you mentioned, but if we want to start with Te Wananga O Aotearoa, which is also the reason why I had the possibility to know you and to pursue my career this year in performing arts, would you mind to share a little bit more what your course is about, and possibly, yeah, whatever you wish to share related with that, and then we can expand to understand how you got to this career in your path.
Oh, so Te Wananga O Aotearoa, I've been teaching there now for going on 14 years, so it's been a long time. But it's a place that is such a beautiful environment to teach in and work. So I have no plans of leaving at this stage. It's just a very special place and a beautiful atmosphere to learn. So I have for the last years been teaching. First of all, I taught performing arts, and I did just focused on drama. I did that for years and years, and then I started to expand the program into self-development and public speaking. So it's sort of, I kept the drama and the screen acting. I kept that as a part of the course, but I made sort of half of the course really evolve around self-development, self-esteem, self-confidence, being able to speak publicly, and that I found was where there was such a big need and out there in the communities. People are so afraid of speaking publicly, and also just how to present in front of a crowd, if you need to do it for work or whatever. Just to be able to really stand on the platform and communicate effectively. So that's pretty much what I'm doing at the moment at Te Wananga O Aotearoa. I've gone through a big journey there. We used to have music, dance, recording, screen auditions, editing, all sorts going on. We still do have that element. No, we don't have dance, and I don't do music anymore, but we don't do music on with me. But so it's been a beautiful journey in the arts, but now we're specializing on the health and body, mind, and soul and spirit, as well as the performance side. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Juliet, for going a little bit deeper into your I don't know how to call it, because for me it's a study process. For you is actually like a teaching process. But what I
Mm.
really like about your course was that, for those who don't know yet, I wanted to pursue the career of well, not the career, but learning about Maori and indigenous arts. And I make the mistake of signing up for the wrong course, which turns up to be your course.
Yeah.
And after the first class, the introduction class, when I realized that was not the one that I thought that I signed up for, I decided to stick with it, because it's not where I wanted to be, but probably I was where I was meant to be. And it's been
Mm.
really great to learn about myself in a different way. As you were mentioning, that there is a lot of about self-development that is been very fundamental to me, in a way that has been beneficial to understand my discomfort and
Mm.
finding some more connection with me and my self-esteem, in order then to be able to not just pick up for big crowd, but even just for myself in a day-to-day life. And it's been really good to apply all the learning that we've been doing towards during the year, and now towards my life as well. And based
Yeah.
on that, I was wondering where it started from you, this journey of self-development and understanding of yourself, based also on what is your passion related with art, and then combining with something that it can be also a little bit more personal, such as self-development, self-esteem, and sense of self-worth as well.
Yeah. I think it naturally progressed. Throughout the years, I've taught, I've put productions together, and I've always sort of done little projects where you've got people speaking or giving testimonies and creative pieces. But it, what I found through the drama process is that drama is a place of healing. And there's so much healing that happens as people explore their emotions. But alongside that, and producing emotions, alongside it, I've always been wary, to be honest, how actors and people in the industry emotionally are looking after themselves. I think that when you go to places like that, you really need to be you need to be very careful, and you need to be in an environment where there is someone that can cover it and keep it healthy and keep the emotions that are able to be a pastoral figure as you work through that stuff as well. So that was what I discovered was the power, specifically in the way that I taught. I just saw people breaking down all the time, and say, okay, what have we got here? We've got a tool where people are opening up and letting stuff out that they've been kept inside for a long, long time. So I wanted to make sure that I was looking after those people and that they were getting a healing breakthrough, and also that we could expand on that further. So instead of it just being performing arts or doing creatively role play and all that stuff, I wanted to really go on a discovery of self-esteem, fear, overcoming fear and anxiety in the mind, confidence, and all the things that inhibit you and frees you from letting out the true potential that is inside you. So to release the fullness of the expression of who you truly are, you really have to understand who you are, and you have to be able to connect to that and be free of any inhibitions or fears that hinder you being able to openly, freely, confidently express what you're needing to express to others. And so many people, their mouths are shut up. It's because of fear. That fear freezes people. It freezes your potential. It keeps people locked in bondage. But I see that so even pretty confident people, but you go, oh well, can you publicly speak? And they still freeze up. They're confident people, but you talk to them about presenting or publicly speaking, and they automatically just go, no, that's not me. So it's really working and understanding what the journey is behind that and where their initial root problem. So you've got to go to the source. You can't put a plaster over it. You've got to go right to the source of the problem that's hindering you from being able to be confident and carry your gift to others. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Juliet, for that. And I truly, while you were speaking, I was reflecting on my experience in this year time and could truly resonate with what you were sharing. And I find that initially I was really afraid of being in a course that I felt that was not going to suit me, was not going to support me in my journey. And actually it did, because I allow myself to be playful in that space and go beyond my comfort zone and see how that could have been something that I could explore in the space that I had available, with also the support of such a person as you. As a kayako, I felt always very comfortable in exploring those realms that to me were very uncomfortable initially, and see
Yeah.
how we can play with also someone else's emotion, and define ourselves also by being someone else's character, someone
Yeah.
else with someone else's experience, someone else's story and background and feeling, and see how that can also be a profound healing process through
Yes.
just playfulness, sort of. So it was a really good experience for me, and it
Awesome.
still is. Yeah, we haven't finished yet, so it still is.
And I think we'll be lifelong friends, Elenia. I don't see you going anywhere.
No, I actually just got my residency, so this is truly
You're
giving
here.
my myself a
Yeah.
I would say my first home that is mine only, and know that this is gonna be the place where I want to be for a very long time. So I can see that as well, how I can still be connected despite this initial uh, chaotic moment that bring me to be connected with you. I know that that was meant to be, and now we have our long journey ahead to be
Yeah.
connected with. But I also I'm aware that you don't only offer these course and this opportunity for people to healing through creativity and through acting, especially performing. But you do also different things for the community, and I was wondering if you feel like sharing any of them, just to
Yeah.
have a better understanding of what else there is out there for people to get in contact with you, and potentially to start their own journey in not necessarily by signing up to school, but even to find you in different other settings that are beneficial for the community in general.
No, absolutely. So apart from my work at Te Wananga O Aotearoa, I have also been helping out at a rehab, and that's been a little bit of part-time work, um, which has really been very rewarding. I've worked in a women's rehab before running the program. I've worked in a prison. I've worked in Serco prison as well. Um, so going to the rehab was, it's a bail house, was familiar territory, but it reminded me how much I enjoyed that type of work. And so that's really dealing with our men, and a few women, but mostly men at the rehab, um, that have come out of jail and are looking and in the process of being waiting to be sentenced, and they're needing to do programs that are going to assist them in recovery, and and in the journey of not going back to jail and cutting through that cycle of crime. Um, So I run a program at Ngāketi Wananga Solutions, and alongside with my colleague, another colleague, and we work with the men and just bring, it's yet again, it's the healing space. It's more healing space, and really, yet again, we're getting right to the root of the issues that have caused the cycle of in and out of jail and addiction. And I find that a very challenging but very rewarding job. And you grow to really care. They become like your brothers, your sons. They become people that you really care about and you really want to see succeed. And so often I find with the men is that they just need to hear that someone cares, someone truly actually loves and cares for them, and is taking their time to actually really invest into their life and show them the tools of really, it goes back yet again, it's the same pattern. Who are you? What is your destiny? What is your purpose? What does God have for you? That's you've got, when it really comes all down to it, so many of the men have come from broken homes, broken upbringings that are really sad, and there's a lack of fatherhood role models and runaway fathers, and that's a common theme for a lot of the men that are inside. So you have to go to the root of the problem, and that really is that I find with in that situation is fatherlessness. Got to hook in on that one, because that's where the abandonment, the rejection, the anger really, really stems from. So we work closely with the men and offer what we can from a female side. And they're also doing Man Up, which is an amazing program. And we work with them and trying to assist them to get free from addiction, which is a big one, but it's definitely been worthwhile. Yeah.
Thank
That's
you so
one
much.
I do. Another program I run is for women, and that is called Legacy. And I'm a facilitator with Legacy, and this is a free course that is available for all women in the community. It runs weekly on Tuesday nights, and there is no charge. It's absolutely free. It's something that we voluntarily do offer to our community, and I call it the Hour of Power for Women. And that's where we are, yet again, we're getting to the root issues and some of the things that really hinder women in relationships, things from their past. They're getting to know who they are and what their purpose is. And we hit some pretty strong topics. It's a 15-week program, but it just keeps rolling. It just keeps going on. And I've seen so many women through this program so powerfully impacted, relationships restored, families restored, women get their children back through they had SIFs taken them away. It's a very, very powerful program. So, and that's just for women. So small groups of women, pockets of women that meet together, and just a place to open up and share, and for woman to woman to empower each other through whatever you're going through.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Juliet. I was going to ask you about the women part because I've been part of it, even though for just one session at the moment, and I know, for example, how easily, I won't say that it's easy, but it's easily for women to open up and share and conversate with one another compared to men, which are still brought up not just in New Zealand but all over the world with the idea of being tough and be strong without the possibility to them to touch to their vulnerability, to their emotion and their feelings. So I was curious to ask you which is the difference that you note for yourself as facilitator to such different of group when you work with men or when you work with women, and what could be the things that you might find in common actually when they start to to feel confident enough to feel protected in a safe space where they could be both open to their own sharing, if there is
Yeah.
anything that you notice in these two different groups, especially.
The men are always at first very hard to crack, to open up. But the type of men I'm working with are men that are, they're pretty tough men. So it's definitely not in their culture to open up and share feelings. Um, and most of them are gang members. But I've found through the process of just sitting and listening and gaining trust and relationship, and also that you really reiterate that you're not going to share anything that they've shared with anybody else. It's a confidential setting. I've found that the men they do open up. It takes a little bit of gentle, just working through them trusting you is the biggest thing. But then it also, I've found you do have to prod and be a little bit, you've got to be quite direct sometimes with them, because otherwise they'll just do what they've always done, and that's hide or lie, or just, keep it under, find a way to keep it under wraps and not let anybody in, which is causing the problems. But I've found that the men have been really open, and they continue to be really open, um, and they enjoy it. I think they actually enjoy it. So that's really cool. But definitely different to the woman. Women are usually pretty keen to share straight away, but still we get women that come in that are pretty hard and have gone through a lot, and it takes them about 3 rotations before they'll actually open up. But they always get there. They always get there. They always open up in the end. But the men I find are amazing. They've been extremely open. And that's been, I guess that shows you that you're in the right line of work, that you're doing what you're meant to be doing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm totally agree with that because I also had my experience in prison, which was for me my very first setting with just a group of men. I know that this practice of art yoga is always inviting by the name women, but is completely different. But still, as you mentioned also earlier, rewarding to work with men and let them know that there are possibilities of opening up in a way that they might never had the possibility to do for themselves in their own family or with their own group of friends. So it's quite beautiful to see how we can create this connection and trust between one another. And
Yeah.
about the legacy work with the sisterhood empowerment that you do, I've been part of it, and it's something that I really want to recommend to women
Mm,
all around Auckland, because I've seen that is a program that they run, for example, also in Rotorua, and I don't know if there is anywhere else
mm,
in New Zealand, but I've seen it in
yeah. All over New Zealand. Yeah.
all over New Zealand. Yeah,
All
and
over.
it's something
Yeah.
that I really want to recommend because in my experience was especially the topics that were shared in the session that I was, which I believe they are different every session, and they are still quite topics that you don't have so much the possibility sometime to share in a normal conversation in a daily life experience. So doing it in these settings is something that is quite wonderful because you have the possibility through those sharing to understand other people point of view on the same exact topic and possibly relate or resonate with what has been brought up in the space for the day. So I really want
Yeah.
to acknowledge your sharing because it's been so fundamental for me, even though I just came to one session, but I'm more keen now with the with the new year coming up to be
Yeah,
part of it more. Yeah, inviting more women and more men also for Men Up program to be part
yeah,
of this
absolutely.
wonderful chance of getting to know more people and understanding how we can relate to one another.
Yeah, that's right. And I think the thing is that, you see results, you see the results, you see the fruit of it, and that's when you know that something's working. And people fall off the bandwagon all the time. That's part of the, recovery journey. That's part of the healing journey. But the space is always there for you to get back up and go again, And I, the one of you said something before, which is one of the most powerful things about legacy, is that you hear someone else speaking from a different perspective on the same topic as you're sharing together, and your answer is often found not from the facilitator but by someone that's in the group sharing, because they've lived it, and they can give you some pearl of wisdom that you might, that you had never thought about, but from their journey going through it, they can actually impart into your life and then give you a tool to get through things. And that's the space, that's the beauty about the group dynamic and the sharing and the opening up, is it brings that healing space alive. Yeah. Yeah.
So thank you, Juliet. Just before we finish, I was wondering if there is anything else that you wish to share them. I might have forgot to ask you, and you really want to use this opportunity for sharing. Otherwise, I'm always happy to also ask you if there is a way for people to get in contact with you more easily in case they wish to have more information related to any of this offering that you do for the community, which they will be
Yeah.
anyway available in the description of this episode. But
Yes.
yeah,
I definitely, if you are interested in going through this journey of needing to develop your self-confidence and to learn to speak publicly, to express your feelings, to be a confident person, and to work that creatively through screen as well. Um, you can just email me. We have about 20 spaces open in the class, so and that's for next year in March we begin, and it's a free program. So 1 day a week of tuition, and then we have 10 noho weekends throughout the year, and it's a it's definitely something that you can do while you're working as well. Sort of, you can manage your hours around it. So really warmly welcome you to hop on board if that sounds like your thing. You can email me on the details that are given by Elenia. And yet again, just want to reiterate, it's free. There are no fees. So it's what Te Wananga, 70% of our courses are free. And if you are wanting to join a legacy, yet again, this is another free program that is open to the community everywhere in most parts of New Zealand, and Hamilton, Christchurch, Tauranga, Rotorua, Auckland up north. Yeah, we're all over the place, and we're all over Auckland as well. So if you are a woman that is really needing some encouragement, some company, some friends, some woman to help you through some, things that you might be facing in your life that are really challenging, or, things from your past that are still haunting you and you haven't resolved, legacy is a very powerful space of healing, and you'll have nothing but love and encouragement from beautiful sisters. And we just warmly, yet again, you can contact me, and I can find a legacy near you, and you're most welcome to jump on board with that as well. And yet again, this is another free community service being offered to you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Juliet. I know how much powerful they can be, also free courses, because they give you the possibility of not having financial problem to decide if you want to attend or not. You can
Yeah.
be there, commit to yourself, commit to the community, and do something good for your life. So thank you for this amazing opportunity that you offer to the community. Is beautiful. And just
Mm.
before we conclude this session, I have one last request for you, which I didn't mention earlier because it kind of like to me as the final surprise.
Oh, yes.
But it's something really, really simple. In the practice of art yoga, when we conclude the session, we often think about three grateful things about our day. But instead of doing that in this different format that I offer, my request for you, if you like, is to think about three empowering messages that you wish to share with us, with the community, starting also with yourself, like empowering messages that you might want to dedicate to yourself as well. So
Mm.
if you wish
Okay.
to share, no
Yep.
matter how small or big they are, is something that is always nice to hear, even with our
Sure.
own ear for ourselves.
Yep, sure. Three powerful messages. First one is just the power of your own voice, the power of your own, the power of I am, the power of who you were created to be. Um, God does not create mistakes. He has designed you uniquely with gifts and talents for a purpose, and you are purpose wrapped up in skin. You are a powerful human being filled with many gifts and talents that so you may not realize are in there, and just know that your voice is the most important voice that matters, is about what you are saying about yourself. And there is so much power in creating positive, affirming, powerful self-talk, and let your voice grow louder than any other's opinion, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. The only person that it matters is how you think about you. And if you think wonderful about you, then nothing's impossible. Yeah. Um, that's one. um, the second one is to I think is to discover the gifts and talents that are sitting inside you. We are all blessed with gifts and talents, and you do have to put yourself forward to sometimes discover those things and take risks and step out in faith. And it's only through stepping out in faith that you actually find out really what you're capable of. So today, take a risk. Don't take care. Take a risk and step out into something you've never done before, and you will find a greater reward waiting for you on the other side. The third one is, that if you are looking for hope and healing and breakthrough in your life, yeah, put yourself first and reach out to the many organizations I've just talked about just then, because your healing journey is is a painful healing is painful, but it's powerful. But and you have to go through the pain to get to the power. So you have to go from the prison to get to the palace, and it is a journey, but the rewards are great when you can actually allow yourself to be healed and be free, set free. We're born to be walk light in life. We're not born to be carrying heavy burdens and dragged down by things from the past. So I just really encourage you today to reach out if you're hurting. Hurting people hurt people. So you may be in a situation that's a bit toxic and you are crying out for help, but you just don't know where. And I really want to encourage you to reach out to me, because I can be that arm of hope and healing to you. Yeah.
Wow, Juliet, it's amazing because normally when I do this, I know that I do it for my listener, but it's also a really beautiful moment for me to embrace those empowering messages. And I really embrace your three ones. And wow, I know that I always after start to walk a little bit floating, not touching the floor, but floating above it. So
Oh,
it's
that's
wonderful that,
cool.
to receive such a empowerment in this space. So thank you for that.
It's
And I hope that through your sharing as well, people might be inspired and empowered, and possibly also find a new way of connecting with themselves through what you do. So thank you so much for your time,
it's
and
all.
thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you.
Bye.
God
Grazie per averci fatto compagnia. We hope you enjoyed your time with us. If you wish to stay updated and connected, visit us on our social media channels and our website www.artyoga.co. Ci sentiamo presto. Ciao! See you!